barrels per day.
190 to 166.
There's Apple's under pressure.
You buy stocks on Tuesday and sell them on Friday.
Market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Traders saying this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it. The movement in oil.
Hello guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be analysing the Nasdaq100 futures chart. Just before I start today's video, for anyone who's interested in joining my signal service, please do not hesitate to visit my website, dailymarketmovements.com. I charge a very small fee of $29.99. And you can find that website link in the description of today's video. But let's talk about the Nasdaq100. The Nasdaq has been completely flat during the trading session today. We've gone from plus 0.5% down to negative 0.5%. So as of recent, if you compare it to the volatility that we've seen today, has been very, very flat indeed, which I think is a good sign. Once again, we continue to consolidate around 12,500 to 12,600, and it looks very likely that tomorrow, when we go into that CPI reading for the inflation, we're going to be trading at just below that 50-day EMA, which is very encouraging indeed. We could potentially, if inflation, has in fact peaked and we get a reading that's lower than the expected figure, then that should be seen as a very bullish movement here for the Nasdaq, and we could potentially break out of this holding pattern and above the 50-day EMA, which of course clears us all the way up to 13,700. But of course that's a big if, and I want to kind of talk about trading approaches going into tomorrow's trading session. This channel of course is kind of mostly for day traders, but also I know that we do have a audience of investors as well, but I'm going to focus more on the day trading side going into tomorrow's trading session. Now this week, as I just mentioned, we've seen very low volatility, and I kind of said that on my signal group earlier on this morning. I said don't really expect the markets to move much during the trading session today. And you look at stocks like Nvidia, for example, which have a massive holding in the Nasdaq100. You're up 0.04% on a day. It's just nothing. Stocks are flat, and that's because everyone is looking towards tomorrow's CPI reading. Now, a good way to trade tomorrow, this is how I'm going to be trading it. I'm going to open a buy and sell position about a minute before the open. About a minute before the data comes out tomorrow. So that's going to be 1:30 p.m. UK time. If you live in the US, then it's 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So what you would then go and do, let's just have a little demonstration quickly. So you'd open up that short position with a very tight stop loss, and then of course you let the take profit run, and then of course you then also go and open a long position at the exact same moment, where you again have a very tight stop loss and your take profit, you let it run. So this is kind of what your trading setup should look like. You've got a stop loss towards the upside, you've got a stop loss towards the downside, and then when that data comes out, if it's good news, for example, let's say inflation comes in a lot lower than expected, then of course the market will rally and it will trigger that short position stop loss, and then that will then allow your buy trade to then run. But on the flip side, if the inflation reading was a lot higher than anticipated, which of course is negative for the stock market, then of course your stop loss on your bull trade, your bullish trade, will then trigger, and then that's when you allow your short position to run. And of course, if we do have a inflation reading that's a lot higher than expected, I truly believe that the Nasdaq100 could pair all of the gains from the previous couple of weeks and go and test 11,500 again, and potentially even break down lower. But on the flip side, if the inflation tells us, if the reading does tell us that we have in fact peaked, then I could easily see us break above the 50-day EMA and go and trade up towards that 0.382 fib area, which is up at around 13,700. So that's how I'm going to be approaching tomorrow's trading session. I'm very excited going into the trading session tomorrow. I do anticipate lots of volatility due to the fact this week we've had near to none, even the volumes being very low as well. So I think tomorrow we could be in for a very big day. Let's make some money. And also, as I mentioned at the start of this video, if you would like to come and copy me how I'm trading step by step, then don't forget to go and subscribe to my signal service, because we're going to be doing this method live tomorrow.
500,000 barrels per day.
190 to 166.
There's Apple's under pressure.
You buy stocks on Tuesday and sell them on Friday.
Market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Traders saying this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it. The movement in